Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today is a slightly chaotic Tuesday, but it is a beautiful day to sit down, grab a massive cup of coffee, and completely overanalyze some wild soap drama. We have a lot of sweeps information to unpack, so let's dive right in. Okay, so I've been thinking about this July General Hospital sweeps preview, and my brain is just spinning in a million different directions. Here's what's bugging me right out of the gate. Brooklyn Quartermaine. What is her actual psychological endgame here? She is trying to pin the blame on Willow Kane for escaping from Jordan Ashford's car accident. Wait, let me back up. First, I should mention that Brooklyn is the one who was actually driving and sped away from the crash site. She didn't even realize she hit anyone, right? Or did she? I mean, not exactly, but kind of? She was distracted, she kept driving, and now she's absolutely terrified of the consequences. But framing Willow? That is a choice. A really, really bad, destructive choice. It's weird. Like, really weird. The whole thing is just weird. Obviously, Lucy Coe suggested the frame up, and Brooklyn is deeply insecure about Harrison Chase's lingering connection to Willow, but still, framing your husband's ex-girlfriend? That is basically Soap Opera 101 for how to completely blow up your marriage. She's using Brick to manipulate Willow's GPS trip log to make it look like Willow was on Route 91. I think it was episode 12? Or 13? Somewhere around late June when she first got this terrible idea. But the thing is, Chase is a cop. A literal detective. How does she think she can hide fake digital evidence from a detective husband who was vowed to clear Willow's name? Actually, no, wait. Chase is kind of blinded by love sometimes, so maybe she thought she could get away with it. But her plan is already facing several massive obstacles. She is bonding with Giovanni Gio Palmieri right now. Gio is going to be involved in Trina Robinson's upcoming music showcase, which is going to open up a whole new musical avenue for him. Brooklyn and Gio are getting close over this shared musical connection, but sadly, Brooklyn's relationship with Gio is going to suffer significantly once her deceit begins to unravel. Gio is a good kid with a strong moral compass. When he finds out she framed an innocent woman, he's going to be disgusted. Brooklyn's scheme is absolutely bound to fail, and she really needs to start bracing herself for the major, tearful confession she will eventually have to make to Chase. What was I saying? Oh, right, the corporate drama. Because Brooklyn's life isn't messy enough, the rest of her family is at war. Tracy Quartermaine and Lucy Coe are currently at odds over control of deception. Because when are they not fighting? It's like a daily occurrence at this point. But here is the massive bombshell that I am staying up way too late thinking about. Serena Baldwin is coming back. Serena! Scott Baldwin and Dominique Stanton's daughter. This could potentially give Serena an opportunity to get involved in the corporate drama upon her return. Does she side with Lucy? Does she side with Tracy? I kind of love the idea of Serena just sweeping in and taking over everything. But then again, that doesn't explain why she's coming back right now. Probably doesn't matter, but I noticed they've been name-dropping legacy characters a lot lately, so maybe they are building to a bigger Baldwin family storyline. Or maybe not. I don't know. Okay, wait, I need to pivot because I have to talk about July 13th. This is going to be the 16,000th episode of General Hospital. 16,000. That is an insane milestone for television. And they are pulling out all the stops because Jason is officially returning as a free man. Steve Burton is back on screen. But here's the thing that's keeping me up at night. He's changed. He was stuck in a WSB black site in Jakarta, taking the fall for Rocco Falconeri shooting Ross Cullum. He has been fundamentally altered by this trauma. I've been analyzing his motivations, and I think he might actually leave the mob. I know, I just said the opposite in a video a few weeks ago, but hear me out. If he comes back changed, his priorities are completely different. He wants Danny to be safe. He wants Rocco to have a clean slate. He might just want peace. But if Jason steps back, who protects Sonny? My brain is jumping between ideas, and I'm not organizing them perfectly, but the ripple effects are going to be massive. Also on July 13th, we are getting the introduction of a new character named Tristan Rogers. Wait, Tristan Rogers? That's the actor who plays Robert Scorpio. Actually, wait, the notes say Tristan Rogers, but I think the character's name might be Tristan Roberts, played by Dean Geyer. My brain is just melting trying to separate the real actor names from the character names. Let's just assume Dean Geyer is playing a guy named Tristan. Who is he? A WSB agent? A new doctor at GH? A mob enforcer? I am second guessing myself constantly on this one. And speaking of new faces, fans can look forward to seeing an older version of Scout Quartermain this July. Kaden Brennan Tokarski is stepping in as a permanent recast to age the character up. Why age Scout up right now? Well, Danny is getting older and dealing with all this heavy WSB and Jason trauma, so Scout probably needs to match that teen angst level. It makes perfect sense. Additionally, Troy Lennon Appel is going to make his debut as a businessman named Hudson on July 30. Who is Hudson? Businessman usually translates to corporate spy or mob front in Port Charles. He could be tied to Jen Sidwell, or maybe he's an investor for deception to break the tie between Tracy and Lucy. Basically, they are adding a host of new characters to the storyline, and it's going to shake up the entire canvas. Anyway, the point is... Wait, what was the point? Oh, right, the hospital drama. Portia Robinson is going into labor. But of course, because this is a soap, it's not a normal peaceful labor. Portia goes into labor following a heated confrontation. Who is she fighting with? It has to be Jordan Ashford or Curtis Ashford. Or maybe Isaiah Gannon? Curtis is facing serious prison time, and Portia is stressed beyond belief. Curtis is facing a genuinely tough decision regarding a plea deal in the upcoming weeks. He is weighing the option of taking a short prison sentence in Pentonville against the massive risk of a much longer sentence if he opts for trial. Because remember, his plan to blame Isaiah for the crash is falling apart, and Isaiah is suing him. So Portia is in the middle of this intense confrontation. Her blood pressure spikes, and she goes into labor. The arrival of the new baby might actually be the catalyst for Marshall Ashford to return to town. Marshall will reconnect with Stella Henry and his family, and honestly, they need him right now. Will Marshall's return be enough to talk some sense into Curtis? Curtis always makes these stubborn, wrong assumptions, and he needs his father to ground him before he throws his life away in court. And speaking of the Ashfords being an absolute mess, Trina Robinson is officially ignoring her warring parents. She is setting boundaries and focusing entirely on her art and her music showcase. Good for her. But wait, Kai Taylor's former friend, Quinn, is resurfacing. Quinn is going to attempt to make amends with Kai and Trina for his past actions. Do we trust Quinn? Absolutely not. Because Trina may also find herself dealing with a terrifying stalker situation. She becomes the target of unwanted attention following her music showcase. Is the stalker Quinn? That feels way too obvious. Like, they wouldn't just hand us the stalker on a silver platter, right? But then again, soaps love an obvious stalker trope. Or maybe it's someone from the music industry who gets obsessed with her after seeing her with Gio. I just want Trina to have 5 minutes of peace, but I guess that's not happening. Okay, let me backtrack. Because I completely skipped over the most stressful part of this preview. Cassius Faison, the fake Nathan West. His identity theft is fully exposed. Lulu knows, Anna knows, Felicia knows. His entire charade is crumbling to the ground, and he knows he needs to run before he ends up in Steinmauer or worse. But what does he do? He risks absolutely everything for a final goodbye with James West. Why? It is so incredibly reckless. I mean, I get it, James is his Achilles heel. He has been pretending to be James's father, and maybe, in some twisted psychological way, he actually fell in love with the kid and wanted to be a real dad. But Ross Cullum is breathing down his neck, the PCPD has an APB out on him, and he's going to the batting cages to say goodbye. I am going down a rabbit hole, trying to understand his motivations. Is it guilt? Is it ego? Whatever it is, it's going to end in tears. Okay, wait, I need to talk about Spoon Island. This is the climax of the entire summer. Ross Cullum's downfall appears to be on the horizon. Jocelyn Jacks is currently being held captive at Windermere, but she is not just sitting there waiting to be rescued. She is actively fighting back. She might soon receive assistance from Carly Spencer, Lucas Jones, and possibly even the head of the WSB himself, Z. Carly and Lucas are staging this desperate break-in to save her, which is terrifying because Carly is already in Cullum's crosshairs. But here's the thing that I am obsessing over. Z is going to be left completely astonished by Jocelyn after events take a violent turn on Spoon Island. Jocelyn is proving herself to be this incredible, badass operative. Cullum could meet a grim fate while attempting to escape with the Cold Fusion Project research. Does Jocelyn take him down? Does he fall off the Windermere parapet? Everyone falls off the Windermere parapet eventually. It's basically a rite of passage. But the fact that Z is so impressed by Jocelyn means Carly's worst nightmare is coming true. Carly wants Jocelyn far away from the WSB, but Jocelyn is thriving in the danger. It's fascinating character development, but it's also terrifying. I mean, basically, the July sweeps are going to unveil shocking news and violent confrontations that are definitely worth watching. I know I just contradicted myself like 4 times trying to figure out who the stalker is and what Jason is going to do, but that's the fun of it, right? We're just watching these characters make the most chaotic decisions possible and trying to piece together the psychology behind it. I need to go to sleep, my brain is completely fried, but I cannot wait to see how this Spoon Island showdown actually plays out on screen.